And I think I'm live. I'm live. Okay. All right, everybody. Promised I was going to make some more videos. I've been getting requests to make more videos, so I'm going to make more videos. Let me close this blind behind me so maybe you can see me a little bit better. Although, who really wants to see me any better? You know what I'm saying? Ugh. I really need to lose about 30 pounds. Anyway, guys, let's talk about what's going on. There's a lot going on this year already. We're only in end of February. We've got impeachment trials ending. We've got coronavirus scares. We've got stock market crashing. We've got all markets crashing, basically. And let me just say hello to everybody that logs in. Appreciate you coming in to watch here. I don't have a whole lot of time to talk tonight, so I'm just going to kind of get right to it. Of course, if you do have any questions on the right or want to have any discussions on any topics, please let me know as well. But first things first, let's now I've made videos in the past about when this bubble does burst. I didn't know what was going to cause it. I just thought there would maybe come a time when the banks just didn't want to prop up the fake economy, the fake stock market anymore, and or that real estate would start to falter. When real estate starts to falter, that kind of brings everything down with it. But sometime a an unknown scenario happens, and that's what we have here with the coronavirus. And guys, I know they're trying to downplay this coronavirus. I know Trump had a conference on it last night or the night before, saying how it's just like a flu. It's not too serious. There's not many outbreaks here in America, but it's not true. It's something to be taken very seriously. That is why you see the stock market crashing almost 1,000 points 3 days in a row. Not in a row. It actually started up yesterday, up $400, ended up down like 150 or something like that. Same thing today. Started up slightly, down over 1,000. I told you when stuff crashes. Now, Bitcoin is still good. Gold is still good. Guys, don't worry. Listen to what I have to say about this. We're in the beginning of the panic stage right now. Everybody is selling everything. They just want to be in cash. They haven't wrapped their head around, they're panicking, they haven't figured out what they're going to do with their money yet. Sometime when you sell your stocks and things like that, it takes a day or two or three even for the funds to settle before you can actually do anything with them, before you can withdraw them, before you can reinvest them in anything. Sometimes people just want to sit on the sidelines and just wait and see where everything lands, where this crash ends. Um, I think you're foolish right now if you do hold stocks, especially to be in the stock market, because I'm sure you haven't only heard from me. You've heard from dozens of other analysts and channels. Of course, none of this is financial advice, but you've heard that we're in a bubble. We're in a real estate bubble, an auto bubble, a stock market bubble, a real estate bubble. Um, Inflation is, about to go crazy. So what they're not telling you about this coronavirus is that they're trying to tell you that it's contained, um, that it's like a flu, that it's not that bad. Well, they wouldn't be welding people inside their apartments in China. See, China doesn't care about their people. They give two craps about their people. And in this scenario, it may be one of the best things, although as far as human rights go, it's terrible. They don't care if their people die. They don't care if their people suffer. They'll quarantine a whole city, a whole town, a whole building, whatever it takes, and just forget about the people. Let them starve to death. Let them die of coronavirus, whatever it may be. They make it. They make it. You've got people in China jumping off balconies because their doors are welded shut and they can't get out and they don't have food. You got people in China going past um, quarantine lines and getting shot and killed. It's worse there than the news is letting you know about. All right, they've got thousands of deaths, and they're predicting that it's more than thousands. It could be tens of thousands. I don't know if you've heard about this yet, but there's an actual um, a test that they can do. It's like a satellite imagery of organic matter that's being burnt. And in Wuhan, where the outbreak began in China, there, it's a huge red glow, and there's no fires in Wuhan that you can see. What this is they're just burning bodies. Anyone who's dead, near death, dying, they're getting burned. They're just torching them, and they're not telling us how many people are actually dying from this. They're covering it up. The other thing they're doing, in my opinion, is how we had that they had that Hong Kong protest, right? That all shut down. Well, I believe they're also rounding up the dissidents, rounding up the people that were protesting, especially the leaders, the ones that were most vocal, grabbing them and killing them and throwing them in these ovens, never to be seen again. And America, if you want Bernie Sanders and socialism, which almost always leads to communism, that's what you're asking for. So think about it if that's what you really want here. All right. Now, what are the dangers of the coronavirus? People, if I were you, here's what I'm going to start to do. I'm going to get some cash out of the bank because there may be a run on the banks if this thing gets crazy. All right. There may be a run on the banks. You're going to want to have a little bit of cash set aside just in case you need it. All right. You're going to want to have some things that will last a long time as far as food. If it ever gets to a point where, say, they quarantine your town or your city, or people are just afraid to go out, they don't want to go out to the store and maybe get sick, right? You may want to have a little extra food in your house just in case. You could always eat it if it turns out to be nothing. But if you've ever lived in town, see, I've lived in Florida when they've had hurricanes, and the store shelves within a matter of hours, all stores are empty of anything that you'd want. Batteries you might probably want to get. Rice lasts a long time. You can cook it. It goes a long way. Canned foods, dried foods, anything that will last, anything that you'll eat. Try to get cheap stuff. I would recommend pastas, things like that, jars of sauce, stuff that'll fill you up and go a long way. It's cheap. You can buy a box of pasta for 99 cents and feed a few people with it. And just get a few different flavor sauces. That way, maybe you don't get tired of eating it. That's probably what I'm going to probably end up doing here tomorrow and the next day. So why is the coronavirus such a scare? Well, first of all, you've got China, which produces pretty much 50% of the world's products. If they can't produce things because their cities are shut down because people are sick and dying, people that know how to work the machinery are dying or sick and can't work, their production is going to get cut way down. China is already having trouble keeping its head above water with the trade war that they had with America. It hurt their economy quite a bit, and this is just going to be another thing that might just push them over the edge. Hopefully, guys, I think that the Chinese Communist government is probably one of the all-time worst governments of all time. And if they can somehow overthrow the government, if this leads to some type of overthrow of the government there, hey, that would be the one good thing that could come out of this. But otherwise, yeah, we're going to see problems for a long time from this coronavirus if people keep if it keeps production down for any length of time, which I feel it's going to. Now they even have sick people in China going back to work. And what is that going to do? That's just going to make it spread. Those people are going to end up getting sick and dying again. But here's some things about the disease that make it so dangerous. You may have heard all this already. I'm just going to go through it real quick. It's not like the flu. It's more like a pneumonia, but a walking pneumonia. So you have it and you can walk around with it, but you don't feel weak. You don't really show any symptoms. They're saying now for up to 24 days. So you can spread it to all other people and not even know that you're sick. And then they're sick and then they're spreading it. And that's why it can multiply so fast. And then the death rate, they're still not giving a definite number on it. They're saying 1 or 2%, but I believe it's much higher than that because in China, I believe they're lying about the number of fatalities that they've had, right? It's spreading now to Italy, to Japan. It's going to be a worldwide thing. They're saying it could come back next year. They don't have a vaccine for it. It's a man-made virus. Another thing they may not be telling you on mainstream media. They can tell when they look at the virus. They can see scarring, just like when you have surgery, you have a scar afterward. They can tell that it's been manipulated. So they can tell it's a man-made thing meant to kill people. And all right, so let's get off of that. And let's move on to what's going to happen with the markets here. So I believe with this panic, you've got these elites that don't want Trump in office, and I believe this might be part of their plan to get him out, have the economy crash, make him look as bad as they can, because there's really no Democrats that can even challenge him right now, and they don't care if people die. Remember, to them, me and you, regular people, we're just like scum under their feet. We're just cannon fodder. They don't care about us, right? So I'm not saying they released this, but it is man-made, and it is causing a lot of fear in the markets, right? So people are going to panic sell. It's already being propped up. It's already a bubble. The Fed is already pumping hundreds of trillions of billions of dollars daily into the stock market, so the companies can buy their stock back up and keep their prices up and keep the momentum going upward. Now, when the market went down 1,000 points, remember, that was with the plunge protection team stepping in and trying to stop it, but they couldn't stop the bleeding. Next day, same thing. Next day, it wasn't quite as bad. Today, I believe they came in right away and they bought it up, and it went up, about $400. And I think they were trying to give people confidence again, bring confidence back in the market, and have consumers who had sold over the last 2 days start to bring their money back in. But it didn't work, and it dropped over 1,000 points again today. So right now, people are selling everything. Safe havens like gold and silver are dropping like crazy. You look at gold stocks, silver stocks dropping. However, if you look at cryptocurrency stocks on Grayscale, Ethereum up $14 today, and the Grayscale Bitcoin stock up like 15 cents or something like that. Both good moves for those two stocks. Now, once things drop, people who have their money in the market now, hoping for that bounce, hoping for the rebound. I remember in 2008 when we had the stock market, crash back then. Would go down 400 points, 500 points. I go, geez, what do I do? 400 points, should I sell? The next day, it would go up like 600 points. You're like, hey, up 600 points. Not too bad. Next day, it'd maybe be even. Next day, down 800 points. Next day, down 500 points. Then maybe up 300 points. Then maybe another day up 200 points. Then down another 800 points. And it never caught up. And if anyone hoping for that rebound because they see those couple of days of gains, the days that it dropped were double the amount of gains. And then you just had consistent days of 600, 800 point drops. Well, now we're having 1,000 point drops 3 out of 4 days, and the other day was a 150 point drop. It's not going to take long for people to panic real quick when they see their portfolio size shrinking. When they lose $20,000, $30,000 in a day, 3 days in a row. It's a lot of money. People are going to just sell. They're going to call their broker, sell. They're going to go on their accounts. They're just going to sell everything. There's nothing the Fed's going to be able to do to prop it up. And once panic sets in, that's how it goes. The last ones in their holding are going to get burnt the worst. People are thinking, oh my gosh, it's down $3,000. It's due to go back up. It's not going to go back up. Production is going to get hurt. Again, this is not financial advice. Production is going to be hurt so much that even stores in America, they're not going to have goods to sell because the goods aren't going to be coming in from China for them to sell. They're going to hurt their profits in China, in America, worldwide. It's not going to be good for the stock market, guys. So after people sell everything, they're going to be like, okay, what the hell are we going to do with our money? Maybe we should just take it out of the stock exchange. What if these stock exchanges get in trouble and they hold our money? Or what if the banks, now they're saying, if things get too bad, there might be a run on banks. People might be trying to get money out of banks, cash. What if they close down the banks? And guys, whether you think this coronavirus is something to be serious or taken serious or not, and if it really even is something serious or not, it doesn't matter. If enough people panic, it's going to become a big deal. You've got to be ready for it. Okay. So you get some money on the side. Now, people are going to start to take some money out of the bank in the next, if this goes on, if this continues on for another week or two. That's why if I were you, if you do have some spare cash that you can take out, take it out now, keep it somewhere safe. But I'd take it out of the bank just in case. They're going to look now. The first thing traditionally that they go into is silver, gold, right? Your two precious metals. Those are the most popular ones. Those are the ones that people tend to buy. However, people are going to see those start to go up, but they're also got to remember the cryptocurrency market is so tiny that even if a small amount, what people consider a small amount of money goes into it, it'll be a big amount of money for the cryptocurrency market, and it's going to start to jump. And as it starts to jump, you're going to see people's attention and eyes go to Bitcoin. They're going to start to buy it. And when they do, it's not going to take many buyers to make it really move. I know I said that this year was just going to be a kind of a up and down lackadaisical type of year for Bitcoin, I kind of thought, but this could change everything. You can have people going in there with starting out small, a couple $1,000s, watching it grow, putting in a little more money. Like I said, it's not going to take much money to go in there to really make the price go up. I don't think we're going to, the altcoins will do okay, but I think you're mainly going to see Bitcoin at first really take off, because that's the one that the people who are not familiar with the cryptocurrency market know about, go into, and then they might start to look at the gains that you can make in the altcoins, and then we may see some altcoins really fly as well. I think the altcoins will do well, but I think in the beginning it's going to be Bitcoin, even though today Bitcoin did not perform as well as most of the altcoins. But that's just my opinion, and I think we could see, I mean, if the money from the stock market goes into the crypto market, you'll see $1 million Bitcoin this year. I don't know if it all will, but I have a feeling a lot of the money is going to find its way in there. Before, my last video, I said maybe we'll see a $20,000 Bitcoin this year. If this lasts for much longer, with the stock market dropping like this, we're going to see at least $100,000 Bitcoin this year. We're going to see Ethereum, 10, 15, 20,000. We're going to see Litecoin over 1,000. It could get crazy. It could get crazy in the Bitcoin crypto market. So let me just take a look at the comments here. Again, hello to everybody. Loaded up on Ethereum, 70%. And my portfolio, 10% Bitcoin, 10% Litecoin, and 10% in altcoins. And that's from Kundalini. Yeah, I think that's good. There's been a lot of hype around Ethereum now with the 2.0, supposedly maybe coming out the end of this year. It looks like it's the choice. It looks like it's going to be the winner, especially if that 2.0 can come out sooner than 2022 is when they first announced, but now they're saying they might move that date up. That's where everybody's building. That's where all the dApps are going. I thought maybe there might, and there still might be other, places, ledgers where people will go ahead and build on, but it looks like Ethereum is going to be the one that's going to benefit the most. Let's see. Everything is going to crumble this year, Kundalini says. I think in the beginning, like I said, I think everybody's going to sell everything and just get out of all the markets and just be in cash. But then you're going to see inflation go crazy because they're going to be printing out money more than they are now, and they're already printing out money hand over fist. And then you're going to see people looking for places to put their money. They're not going to put it in bonds because bonds only pay about 1% interest, 1.5%. Stock market's going down, too risky. Gold and silver, safe havens. But they're also going to be People like that are used to trading on the stock market are going to have a crypto market that's going to be very similar in fashion to the way that they trade, and it's going to be easy to get in and out of, to go into different coins and out of different coins, and I think we're going to see crypto market maybe go absolutely bonkers. I hope that's not what it takes to make the cryptocurrency market go crazy, because I think it's just a matter of time before it does. But this could be something that really pushes it over the edge this year. If you're on crypto now, well done, guys. Ride out the storms. Yeah, just ride out this little uncertain time we're going to have here for the next. And I don't think it's going to take long. I don't think it's going to take more than 2 weeks for crypto to start to take off. It might be less than that, especially if the market starts to crash. People pull their money out. It takes, like I said, it takes a couple days for the money to settle. They're going to try to think what they should do with their money. They're going to here on the stock channels. Everything is down today except for Bitcoin. Everything is down today except for Bitcoin and gold and silver. Everything's down today except for gold and silver and Bitcoin. And when they see that day after day, what would you do? All right. Modern plague. Hey, Joe, Stephen. Hey, Stephen, how are you? Yeah, modern plague, and it's a man-made plague, so it's not even a natural plague, which makes it even more devious. And it's a terrible thing. People create things to kill people. And it's a terrible thing. These scientists think they're making these great creations and inventions, and then the military takes them and turns it into figures out a way. If they figure out it's a way that they can kill people with it, then they take it and use it for that. Very nefarious. Don't fall for the fear, mate. The coronavirus is yet again a distraction. Project fear. Yeah, well, the reports out there from not from the regular news, but from the people who know people in China and Wuhan, you can actually, if you look, you can find them, and they give their reports um, about how they're barricading cities, locking people in. People are dying on the streets, falling down face first, spitting up, coughing up blood. People who had got the virus and had it for a few weeks and it looked like they were recovering, sent home, and then they get it back again. This is a nasty virus that, like I said, it's man made, and they put things in here that are not like a normal sickness where once you're over it, you're pretty much over it. You're done with it. And like they say, you can't catch the same cold twice. I don't know. However they modified this thing, it looks like you can catch it twice, or it's very hard to get rid of. You maybe think you're rid of it, and then it comes back. I'm not sure. This has only been out. Well, they say since what end of December, but it's really only been talked about for a few weeks now, and it's already getting a lot of attention. I know that the death tolls have not been that high in other countries yet, but it's enough to start people panicking. So I hope that it's really not as bad as they say it's going to be, but they're saying that it's going to affect, it could affect up to 70% of people. And like I said, it never hurts to plan ahead and have a plan in place and have some extra rationings of food, batteries, things like that, just in case. You know, you'll use them eventually. Toilet paper, paper supplies, supplies that come from China. Um, it's going to be hard to get chips and semiconductor chips, iPhones, computers, a lot of electronics. They're made in China, and they might be hard to get for a while. And if you can get them, you're going to probably have to pay through the nose for them. So if you're thinking about getting anything like that, and you've got disposable money, um, now might be a time to think about getting some things that you're going to need on a daily basis, but may not be available. Saying a lot of shampoos and soaps are made in China. Um, Deodorants, things that you use daily that if you didn't have, razor blades, things that you don't may not think about. But do you want to pay? Razor blades are already expensive. Imagine paying $100 for a pack of razor blades. It could happen. All right, we got Stephen O'Neill. It's in Northern Ireland now too. Yeah, that's the thing about this disease. It's spreading so quickly because people don't even know they have it, and they're spreading it to more people. And that's what makes it so dangerous, is that other diseases that are very dangerous and deadly, they act very quickly. You get it, you're sick within a couple of days, and you're either in the hospital, in bed, or dead and dying, and then the disease is gone, and it's over with, right? You can quarantine it and get control of it that way. With this one, it's just people walk around with it for so long and don't even know they have it, and they're just spreading it to people. Um, the great Colin Stephen O'Neill says, "Yeah, this is I. I wouldn't put it past this to be an elite plan to, what they say in the Georgia Guidestones, get the world population down to was it 50 million people? The elites that really don't have use for humans. We're just a thorn in their side. All we can do is revolt and cause trouble and protest and overthrow them. But if they get our numbers down, now they've got robots that can do most of the jobs that people can do, and AI. They don't. That's what they say. They say it. If you look it up, you can find it. This is what the elites say. It's part of Agenda 21. It's part of Agenda 2020. It's part of the Georgia Guidestones. Um, this if this is news to any of you, it shouldn't be. But I'm letting you know now that they want us dead. They don't want us around. 14 to 40,000 died of flu in U.S. alone. 34 infected with coronavirus outside of China. No deaths. 14 to 40,000 died of the flu in U.S. alone. Are you talking about the yellow fever? Yet media has everyone scared of coronavirus. Home Depot sold out of masks. Yeah, I went to Home Depot the other day, and there was a lady in there asking for masks, and they told her we're sold out, and she looked very disappointed. Well, yeah, now that's true what you're saying. Forlo, Forlo, For, Forlum Guild. I'm hacking that, but don't forget, this has just begun. This coronavirus is just starting. Who knows what the final tally is going to be on this? Um, Low, slow, flyer 77. I'm loaded with Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash. All right, I like the Litecoin. I prefer Bitcoin over Bitcoin Cash, but I guess Bitcoin Cash has more room to move. Lori Crowley has money bags. Let's see, low flyer again. I think the Communist Chinese were going to use this on Hong Kong. Yeah, well, supposedly it was made in a lab in the University of North Carolina, sold to the Chinese. They're saying, some of the early scientists in China that knew about it got sick and died from it. A doctor who first discovered it and reported on it ended up getting sick from it after they paid him a nasty visit, the Chinese government, and he died of it. And it just seems very nefarious. I hate to accuse anybody of anything or be talk this way about governments and things, but the Chinese government, they don't care about their own people. If you ever seen pictures on the internet of people who stood up, protest against the Chinese government, they literally cut them to cut them apart, skin them alive on the streets in front of everybody. And they actually have pictures of this on the internet. You can see it. So they don't care about their people. They don't care about, if you don't follow their rule, the communist rule, the Chinese leaders rule. People die on the side of the street there, and people walk right past them, don't even help them because they're afraid if they help them that their same thing's going to happen to them. You know, the police in China will just, you know, cut your arm off and leave you on the side of the street to die. And if anyone helps them, the same thing's going to happen to you. It's just an awful, awful system. Ryan, it's fake. Ghost cities for propaganda. Well, I don't think it's fake because if it was fake, we wouldn't now have Italy, saying they're having outbreaks, Japan having outbreaks. I know the biggest one has been in that Wuhan, and I know they do have a lot of ghost cities there from all the construction that they did that nobody lives in. But Wuhan is a big city, and if that's and they have people in Wuhan saying that it's for real. So I'm saying, guys, don't. It doesn't hurt to have some provisions ready just in case. Lori Crowley, what do you think about Stellar Lumens? Thanks. I used to own some Stellar Lumens. Biggest thing with Stellar Lumens is they just don't have any good dApps or anything built on it. I thought they had one, Smartlands, that was going to take off, but just kind of fizzled. It dropped way down the charts. It's in the 700s now, something like that. I keep an eye on that one still because I think of buying some of it, but it just, I don't know. I think it will do fine. Like I said, there's going to be more than just Ethereum that people use, and Stellar will be one of them eventually. But I don't think it's a bad pick. All it takes is that one killer dApp or application on there that people use, and it could really boost it. But as of now, it just doesn't really have anything going on. People will buy it for spec. It's a speculation type of thing. It's nothing proven yet. It doesn't have a working, anything that's really going to make it money yet. You've got these other things that have actual products or things that are use cases where Stellar itself is a use case, but they have to have people build on it for it to actually have value. Might be worth holding on to. I wouldn't go all in on it. I'd maybe, put a little bit in there. It's very cheap crypto. So that's what I think of Stellar. That helps. Again, not financial advice. Ryan, there is no virus. It's all government propaganda. Yeah, well, I think we'll find out, Ryan, in the next week, because the way this thing is spreading, if it is something to be worried about, then in the next week, I think we'll know if the death rates start to go up in other countries and the infections start to spread. Then we'll know for real. Now, I did hear that it does target males more than females. I also heard that it targets people of the Asian race more than others. That's just the way that was when it was made in the laboratory. Since people in China all marry other Chinese people, all their genetics are very similar, and this coronavirus attacks that genetic code more than people that are like from America. We have people in America. We're the melting pot, right? We've got I'm Lithuanian, Irish, German. I'm like four different things. My wife is like four different things. So our kids are like, 7 or 8 different things. And it doesn't attack quite as viciously to people that, like I said, it's more Asian specific. It seems to be attracted to Asian people getting sick more than people that are not Asian. Second is, I think Spanish, then black, then white. Looks like they're the least likely to get it, but that's just what I've heard. That's not a racist thing or anything. That's just what I've heard about the virus. Opinions on situation. Scunthorpe. I don't know what that is. I'll have to look that up and get back to you on that. I'm not sure what Scunthorpe situation is. Deaths associated with the flu between October and February. Let's see. 19 Delta. Think about social gathering places, restaurants, movies, mall. No one will go. Exactly. Delta 19. People aren't going to anywhere there's a lot of people around and they're worried about getting sick. People aren't going to go. People in America, people are worriers for the most part anyway, and people have self-preservation, and there's a chance you're getting sick and dying. Chances are you're not going to go out and do it, right? Thomas Regner says it's all fake. So, like I said, we will know probably in the next week um, if it is. But in the meantime, like I said, it doesn't hurt to start getting a few things together just in case. Things that you'd use, foods that you'd eat, batteries if you use batteries, things that, it wouldn't hurt. And, what's going to happen anyway is the price of all these things are going to go up because if China's not producing them, they can start to gouge you on the prices. People need it in their limited supplies. They can start to raise the prices. Plus, America's printing out money hand over fist, which is going to cause inflation, which means the prices of everything is going to go up. What does it hurt to have some extra things now, especially if you're going to use them anyway? You know what I mean? Randall McMurphy, who's on here all the time. Thank you, Randall. Tens of trillions have left the markets globally. Bitcoin is like 100 billion. Exactly. If even just a small fraction of that money goes into Bitcoin, like I said earlier, it can go 100,000 like that. Can I snap? Snap. Okay. All right. I'm getting to the end here. My wife is home, so I am going to get off here in a minute. Until you or your neighbor gets it, it's just a flu and pure propaganda. Well, of course, it is flu season also, so who knows? You have the flu, you have the coronavirus, who knows, right? I have a sore throat today. Oh my gosh, am I going to die? It's people are going to, it's just thoughts go through your head. It's only natural. Litecoin Perosi is on here. Thank you, sir, for stopping in and checking out my live feed. I appreciate it. Thomas Renner, sounds like you already drank the government Kool-Aid. Like I said, what does it hurt to be prepared? And we'll find out. I would think in a week we'll know the way that this thing spreads supposedly, and if the numbers don't come in like they're saying, then you're right. Then it's just putting fear out there. But Shah Yusuf, hey Joe, I think future is clear. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic, XRP. I guess some coins will government USA building coins or taking coin. Good project there with their rules. Yeah, I know they have some new rules coming out. But America is still a free country, so hopefully they won't get they haven't passed. They're just propositions. Right, be careful what you believe, for the mind is very powerful. Yeah, no, it's true. Like I said, guys, I don't mean to cause panic. I don't mean to cause fear and things like that. But I do believe that what does it hurt to be prepared? Be prepared a little bit. That way, if the worst does happen, God forbid, then you don't have to worry quite as much. And if it's nothing, then you've just got some extra supplies in your house, right? No big deal. No big whoop. All right. So anyway, guys, 38 minutes. My wife is home. I am going to log off now, but give me a thumbs up if you haven't. If you enjoyed the conversation here tonight, subscribe, like, kiss your wife, your girlfriends, boyfriends, husbands, hug your kids, pet your pets. God bless each and every one of you. Stay safe out there, guys, and let's talk in a week when, maybe before that, but in a week when we'll see what's really going on with this coronavirus. All right. Till then, hodl, hodl, hodl. All right. Bye-bye.